The next one, sorry, Yanni, you've got a problem.
I just want to say that there is a memo coming from the Community Board in relation to the deputation that we've just heard, and there is a possibility under the Finance Committee that we could possibly pass a resolution.
Yep,
but we can deal
with that later. Yep. Okay, Val, Fendleton Waimarie Community Board. Welcome. On the Bishopdale Library, no doubt. Welcome, Val. We're in your hands. You know the rules.
Thank you. Deputation. Yeah, the speakers are on now. Thank you for hearing our deputation. This is very brief, but it's clear to show you that the rebuild of a smaller purpose-built build is a better option. This is a council-owned facility, and the population, as you can see, is going to continue to rise, and the median age, the younger and the older people use the library and the community centre. They're the higher users. We held a community conversation in the Bishopdale area, and the overwhelming feeling was that they wanted a new purpose-built, smaller facility. The older facility was lacking in heating and ventilation, and it was very difficult to access. So that was why the community wanted a smaller purpose-built building. You can see the number of groups that used the building. It was the busiest community centre in the city before it closed, and the 40% bookings on a casual basis showed you how popular it was, and if we had a new facility it would be even more popular, I'm sure. You can see the social housing in the area, so these people also used the facilities, and especially the library. And then we get on to the benefits of the rebuild. A modern building designed to meet the needs of the community. It would be a bigger space for the library and more functional, because the old building was very old and the ventilation, heating and access was very poor. And as you can see, the opportunity would be to be a more efficient building, and it would contribute to the regeneration of Bishopdale Mall, which we always have problems about keeping the activity up in the mall, which is a council-owned facility again, and it would be more financially prudent to build a new building at this stage. And you can see from here, we have put in $500,000 from the Capital Endowment Fund. This was the only facility that we really put substantial money into, because we want this facility so much in our area. And you can see that we only want from the council $2,824,000, which compared to other facilities that people are asking for is less. Basically, that's the end of my deputation.
No, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Now, you mentioned ongoing problems or previous problems with Bishopdale Mall. Could you expand on that a little bit, please?
Yes, there is a new supermarket in there, but the shops even way a bit. They are full at the moment, but there are rumours of some of the big stakeholders leaving, and we will have to keep the interest up in the mall, to keep the interest up in the whole area, because it is an area that needs support.
Thank you for your presentation. Yes, very good. But I'm concerned, like you mentioned, the rebuild is more benefit, better than repair. But I'm concerned at the moment the council the budget constraint. But repair is repairable, is necessary. But rebuild is nice to have. So what's the rationale? But rebuild probably cost for $4 million, am I right? But repair is $2.3 million. So they still have $1.7 million gap. So I just want to know the rationale.
This was a very old building before the earthquakes, and there had been talk for about 10 years of replacing the building because it had leaks. The heating was very bad in it. The access, the lift getting up, or the stairs were very difficult to get up for the older people. Even though it was still very highly used, the council had tagged it as a building that actually needed to be rebuilt. So the repair is, as you can see on the last slide, over time is not really financially prudent.
Thank you. Just two questions. One is on page, the feedback from the Bishopdale community conversation. It says the overwhelming desire was, as I read it, to fix the community centre and library and get it open. Is that? So why is the board, I mean, I just wanted to understand that feedback a little bit more, because you're asking for something different to what the community have asked for.
Oh, I don't think that's the case. I think they would support us totally for a new building. They just want something back. They haven't had anything as a community centre since the earthquakes, so it's been closed that long.
Okay.
So that's what they're wanting back. They're wanting a community centre back.
Was the community conversation held before the temporary library was put in or after?
Before.
Right. Okay. And then the second question is, in terms of the future of Bishopdale Mall, I mean, I see there's a real opportunity to have a really good look at Bishopdale Mall through this process. Have you got any work identified as a community board to really look at what is the future long term for Bishopdale Mall?
Yes, we're always sort of looking at what we can do up there. We have problems with the bus service up there with ECAN, people getting into town, getting into the mall. The bus service is very poor to Bishopdale. We cannot get the Orbiter to go there. That's one of the things we'd really like to do to increase people going there.
Sorry to interrupt, but do we own the land which Bishopdale Mall sits on, or is
Yes,
it?
yes.
Do we own the land? Private
Yes.
people own the buildings?
Yes.
And we own the library?
Yes.
Thank you. Look, I'm just perhaps interested in the floor area of this, and as a general sort of comment that's probably directed more at staff than a question to Pendleton Waimari Board, but it seems to me that we have a number of community facilities on the go around the city. I'm not sure whether there's a huge disparity in the floor area, but there seems to be a huge disparity in the amount of money that's being applied to each of them. And I sort of think we run the risk really of pitting communities against each other by saying, well, this community's getting X million dollars for a facility and this one's getting that. And I don't see any great connectivity in the floor area and the price per square metre of the build. We seem to be having a large disparity. So I wonder really whether that's a question for staff as to how we Okay, righto.
All I can say is we have very few community facilities in Pendleton Waimari compared to other wards. If you want to weigh them up, we have very few facilities. We have this, and we have a hall in Pendleton, we have Avis Hill, and we have a little hall in Harewood. That's all we've got in the whole ward of the area. So it is very important.
Thank you.
Thank you. I used to live there, as you know. The YMCA is quite a new build. Isn't that being well used by the community? You know, with
yes, absolutely. It's used to the maximum. So this complements the YMCA very well.
Because it's adjacent. I mean, it's
Yes.
right on the mall itself.
Yes.
But you still feel you need.
Indeed.
Another
Absolutely.
As the slide showed earlier, the 40% casual usage through the historically or pre-earthquake with the community centre, those people are displaced and having to use other venues away from their community. So it's about bringing those people back to their home.
Thank you, Val and David. So clearly the $500,000 which your community board are putting through, from the capital endowment funding, that indicates it's a top priority for you. We understand that. The remaining amount is about $2.8 million for a new building. So I just wondered, would there be potential, say from your wider catchment area for the library, for us to sort of support you to look at how we might perhaps obtain some external funding for a library like this, for a community centre? Is that a possibility?
Personally, I would like to see the go-ahead first, and then maybe we could approach the community. I don't think we could do it the other way around.
Dealing with in public excluded, so it's not helpful, not very helpful for you today. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. There is also a petition from Marilyn Henderson and Tanya Smith. Are Marilyn and Tanya here? Great. Come on up.